Adeshimai mami mamu nyina akwaba emamu aha eba UTV so ene ewie premo ato ye hihye yemu no kasebo ayaboaboa no fitinu anwumre na no pe ya ebe prem sabre ne ye ama me se memfa mrem se prem tobre kasebo eye efieda awie biam na nwumako bi na aso yasene ama yemu ayedru this way chocolate drink yes de ohia eye ensohie special ice mineral water ene na no ye drinks no flavors no edoso pa na watwe wie ye wupe bi aseve ewo odumadie bi asaye kamfo ede amount YouTube nchine so ebo ye chidom best point savings and loans na se sikasem ye be hwe ama na gina brand pa nti wokọ omo chen a *277# digital banking na woni omo adinsa wo so nwuma bi eka we hu ya awofa so ebo ye chidom gina ha ma hyehya me hu fefefe na me de kasebo yi ebre mo kasebo no edoso de ebedi mu akotene bi eni Dr. Shibwo Kweku eye adwuma ewo eye election eye wo mo hwe abato so ewo my Ghana mu wode atudwa se Ghana card no Ghana fo ye man ye hia de se obi abetimi akopebi na owura John Gina Paul ono so e de ato Ghana fo nyina anim se anasa o mampani na Adankwa Kufu ado anim se wo ka se COVID-19 na ama o man ye ho akire yen no e yade adokura bia anim ti sasem no a wo mo eka no wo mo enyaika na ekopie mu ewo ye mfimfini mantamu asen adubiase wo mu yingo ewo hoso ekyerese wo mu hia mmoa aban emehwe na wo moa wo mu nsem bi ka we hu ya editie na edihwe ene yesamufo asone so se memfamrem se prem to brekase bo ene fieda awia ewo Ghana mantimu mi ami bedi hu chia me eye musomfo adwoa obi ya obin ye munra kasebo no emu Yewramu dia na yede eye electoral commission for womu ensem na ehwase director Emma Electoral Services Emma Electoral Commission of Ghana eye owura Shibwo Kweku menem kasai no wato enkra ama Ghana fo nyina sei yema no enye ye hiasem se Ghana card no wuni bia ma nenye wo hiasem se Ghana card no bekwa akokopa bie se ya excuses ahodo anipa bi ede Emma ewo Ghana card nya wo mu enya bie no eye adoso pa
na mo se e babua be yensi ntia se be na efi akurasi e ba se enko ye command those days na ye ko ntia de bia o se efi se ehu se ye nde o se o se ye boy hu ne se tubu ko ye ana adu no now you have about 20 months to go and se bia mfa se even ana ifo ka mba wa akurasi wo na ne nka hu se ana ifo msa te wo 15 years ntia ba akurasi wo na mo 15 years fo ni aka job dada because when I first started 15 and he started 18 into obia na we take advantage in one and one take advantage that time na who 20 years so a class no be 10 or 20 years asa also to na mo kakra na wonya bibia botimi akwakojo Ghana card se be ya osu bitima akoti odine if you say we say minister na me kaza say ka say yuntu kwankwa buruchira Ghana ni bia ba akra wo uwa hinu grambo na obakra eno de bad ya betimi aba yesi yenko school a normally ene we class school nu ni ye class wo be yetumi ko eko school nu it is a better ko na ko yo Ghana card wa na o ka se uniska abedi kakra na chetu 20 years 20 months to was unika uniska dun ko je card there is a responsibility on you to also take some steps yen there you be back for electoral commission say back to ka ya ba ho be yentimi nyina nkasa ma na for
na Deputy Chairman Emma Electoral Commission of Ghana Dr. Eric Bosman Asari na wase okane plane enye plane fa se amanyoku aye frɛ no NDC wo mo ni omuni problem bia se de amanfo adwene wo mo se wo mo ene wo mo ewo problem no wo kyerɛ ne sa na wo kan kwakosi sudua se enhyehyɛ bia wo mo efa abato ho ewo my Ghana mu no wo mo to nsa efrɛ NDC amanyoku no mo bɛkyerɛ wo mo adwen na nka ente sa nka wo abato ahodo wo mo ewo constituency regional na afi national kra no Kenya de anka Electoral Commission kokobo wo mo chidom ekɔhwɛ toto ma wo mo abato no etimi ekɔfinte wo mo a wo madwene wo mo se NDC amanyoko no Electoral Commission ene wo mo problem no enya de anokure bia ewo
no crazy peace council for ya ni omo adi nkomo omo de ayi omo ma ya te se NDC for abo omo so mba hia se ya ni NDC ni MPP nyina behia ba ya de ka che peace council ne se ya ni obia eni asem Now, I mean, you can be said. NDC for your constituency elections, executive elections, 276. I'm some way sa kwaka home. Yan DC any the directive course say supervisor mom. Omu ye 16 regional executives elections. Omu yesi na ye bibia emom ye supervisor mom. Omu say youth bi o Cape Coast am friend to kwasisi ya yes e binum youth and women wo Cape Coast. Ni nyina yesi officers and your deputy directors for electoral services. Omni mom kohe omni regional director was central region. Yanko for near koye. Almost a national or cross sport stadium here. Yan ya koye. Bishano. Yan ya koye momuna obia a jacob obi on the wasam. Now bedin a chia koye na yaman wa why you kumase why and one cran why and wo dambai. Wasa ko ni kepo man to kwakwa sisanka one ni wasama an to kwana ekosi wo kepo so baka se sa wade we awaye tikura no mensi asebium yaye e ma ya sanka so mo be yo mo primary parliamentary primary ti oni obi wasama a sanka sa na ma we nyina onya ma no na your officers any omo ye adwuma district obi ani hu kwan so baka so ko bibia ma party bi this a directive ni free Accra from the commission say ye ma we anyway ti ye de nyame ni obi a enti na medical case ye benya anka bibia ye bia na mu bia ye tu bia no yani MPP yani NDC yani LPG yani PNC yani omu nyina entu sa na mo no na emo no menu an sa ka bibi wo idea bia eno nkyira sa wo idea no na yisi mfesa say yisi no so onudwumadi a menyi ni say yisi betumi akọ bi say mo ye mo nhyehyɛ say a mo nye ni dabi constitutional kan de obi a dwumadi a also di until ye nyina ufi say yisi ye bibi animra kwama na say ba ye MSNDC di akọ on several 2019 year by registration bi omo de akọ say ye no district office ye kra ye bi o electoral area 2020 so ye ba be registration new one ye no NDC di akọ say ye old voters ID card efrim me kai transcript of the ruling na judge ni can be say electoral commission no or ye dwumadi bi a or ye independent or ye na dwuma o tu anamo bi no wa na dwuma na empo wo idea bi say wo idea ni ye better and chance electoral commission emfa sani Jacob ban wa dress kama e bi am fi say and then nanka say o she kente a me na ma kire Jacob ban say other than no she we ni wan she kente no edru time bi wa o say chi ase say obi a wona sade obi a wona level na dwuma di a o di say ye nhihye na ebetie obi a mo media for no mo hwe say bi na mo we a ye tu other than na chere say be benefit we are ready yeah because we are there for Ghanaians.
Mrasha bedwam ni eye MP Emma Yape Kushegu eye Honorable John Abdullahi Jinapo abo aban achipa se ohun ni enti achinchina atwan aban se COVID-19 pandemic no na ama oman ye ho akyen na o kan sisudua se enya anu bia na ama oman ye ho eche eye amamwo bone a NPP amanyuko no ede akyekyere oman yi eno ne nam so ama oman ye ho ekere yensa.
Vice President in 2016 himself verbally told the people of Ghana that President Mahama has indeed fixed Dumso. He has no business, and the president has no business standing before Parliament and peddling such unsubstantiated allegation that he inherited Dumso. Go and check the records on the PURC. Go and check the records from Gridco, and you will realize that in the whole of 2016, we never declared load shedding. You can concoct your own stories, fabricate your own facts, and come and stand here and misrepresent same and think that we on the side of the NDC would buy your concocted stories. It will not wash today, it will not wash tomorrow. And let me put it on record, and this is incontrovertible evidence, that by the time we were leaving office, we had comprehensively, holistically solved the problem of Dumso that we inherited as a government. That is a fact, and the record speaks for themselves. Tell me, then when did you solve Dumso? If you inherited Dumso, which day did you solve Dumso? You tell us. If you inherited Dumso, tell us when you solved it, which month, which year. Because there can only be a terminal point. If you indeed inherited Dumso, you must tell us that by January or February 2018 or 2017, you resolved Dumso. This issue of inheritance of Dumso can only be a figment of the imagination of people who do not understand the energy sector. And as far as I remain the ranking member, I will not allow this false narrative to continue without it being challenged. Mr. President Speaker, if you do a juster positioning of the situation, I wonder how NDC would have fared if they had the trouble of the COVID together with the Russia-Ukraine war. You couldn't handle as small a matter as cholera. I'm telling you, these are the hard facts. Cholera. I'm sure the nation would have comatose if NDC were in power and then we experienced the COVID-19. You couldn't even put the lights on when we were enjoying the largesse of President Kufuor in terms of the oil revenues. So please, do not say we don't have the men. If we didn't have the men, under the COVID arrangement, the nation would have comatose. And we should give glory where it is due. I'm urging upon those who are running this economy to come out with an infrastructure album so that the naysayers will see pictorially what has been done. Like it was tabled yesterday as an annexa. Yes, that's the annexa. You can't deny the roads. Somebody was saying that the sheer fact that the Minister for Roads is brought here to come and answer questions is evidence that no roads are being done. The kind of hell people raise if the minister disrespected your call to come and answer questions. You can't have it both ways. So the government should come out strongly with an infrastructure album and to show pictorially the levels of infrastructure that has been rolled out by the Kufuor government. Obviously, probably with the debt implications as well. And that will stop all the noise. We are fed up with the situation. Even you won't thank us when we come to any part of the country and we do good things.
Yeda soa ewo emrahye bedwam ho na MP Emma Ablekuma West ono aso ene Minister of Communication Honorable Esla Ewusu Ekufo wono so e de atodwa se challenge na se how ya ye namu ewo my Ghana mu enche kra ebetwam kra ebe te se twam kabia kra enu nti no we nyina no eye nhehye pa aban ede agu ha ebeboa ama oman ya fe ntoma pa afra na wagina so ede afutuo ama ye NDC amanyoko ne se wo mu ayo agent of opposition bibia aban de beba ye papa bia no na omo botugu na wo mo ebotugu sa suban no emmoa ema oman mfa no ntoma pa emfrenti wo mo ntwon ho efri sa suban no eho.
It's the same mentality which caused them to oppose the national ID project, to oppose the digital address system, to oppose free SHS, to oppose mobile money interoperability, to oppose almost everything that this government tried to introduce, but to which they are and their families are beneficiaries of. Mr. Speaker, it is instructive that we live in this country where our friends on the other side think being in opposition means you have to oppose everything. But we need to move beyond that and think about the interests of our country. Yes, we are in a difficult position currently, but as the President says, this too shall pass. No individual, no company, no organization, no country on this earth has been able to develop without having challenges in the process that they have been able to surmount and overcome. In the same vein, the current challenges that we are going through as a country, we will surmount and overcome.
But a certain minister said that they are 17-year-old can run Ghana's economy if it's about borrowing. As I said, this government has irresponsibly borrowed, and that's where we are. They have mismanaged the economy through reckless spending and wasteful expenditure. That's where we are. Mr. Speaker, the sad thing about this whole thing is that not only are they incompetent in managing the economy, not only are they incompetent in overborrowing, they have actually been incompetent in restructuring the very debt that they have created. Look at the way they have handled the debt, the domestic debt exchange program. Today you are in, tomorrow you are not. Today pension funds are in, tomorrow they are not. Today individual bondholders are in, tomorrow they are not. And the president tells us yesterday that it has been a successful program. Maybe they don't have a clue what is yet to come. This is not a successful program, Mr. Speaker. We have created a monster in the domestic debt exchange program by creating two derivative bonds, one old, one new, and they are going to feed on each other. In the end, the bond market in Ghana here will become problematic, and future government will have a problem in servicing Ghana's debt.
Yada soa ewo emrahye bedwam ho na MP Emma Northton Honorable Samuel Okujuto Ablakwa enso ede atudwa se aban ekobo besia 453.7 billion ya wo hwe yese odan so kwaje yese ode ba be adwuma ewo my Ghana musa sika ni mu no emu 7.3 billion pe ena aban asai ewo road construction ye akwan ene akwantempon so obi sase sika no ewo he aban emfa nchechemu mapa emra ewo sa sika no eho.
Mr. Speaker, I'm also particularly shocked at the statement the President made yesterday, where he said that they have not engaged in reckless borrowing. And Mr. Speaker, if you read page 8 of the President's address, the President says, and I quote, large amount of the monies we borrow are for road construction. And then the President asks, shall we dare stop constructing roads? Mr. Speaker, I have taken the trouble to do the analysis, gone through all the approvals of the roads ministry by this house and all the loans approved by this house. Mr. Speaker, and this is a generous analysis, we have even included taxes, our national revenues. Mr. Speaker, since 2017, all of what has gone into roads, 7.3 billion. Meanwhile, the President has borrowed, according to the Bank of Ghana, by November of 2022, he had borrowed up to 453.7 billion Ghana cedis. That is how much he has added to the national debt stock. Remember that he met it at 122 billion, and he has added 453 billion. Mr. Speaker, if you do the simple arithmetic, what has gone into roads, the borrowing that has gone into roads is a measly, a paltry, an abysmal 1.62%, Mr. Speaker. Can you believe that? Not even up to 2%. And the President is telling us that we have borrowed for roads. The question many Ghanaians are asking, really, which of the roads? Mr. Speaker, the fact of the matter is that the analysis we have done, 95.35% of the monies borrowed have gone into consumption. Consumption. What our former colleague on the other side, who we miss very much, the Honorable Kankam, I think, he coined a famous expression, chop chop, chop chop. Consumption. That is what the monies borrowed have been used for. So the President should not think that he can just, throw expressions about and we will not subject them to critical analysis. And Mr. Speaker, talking about roads, I am really amused that the President is now conceding. Last year, if you read the State of the Nation address of last year, Mr. Speaker, the President said that he is the President who has constructed the most roads, more than 10,000 kilometers, in the entire history of Ghana. This time, he has stepped down. When you read this year's address, he says Fourth Republic. I'm sure by next year's address, it will be probably in 1 year, or within a month. I mean, you wonder what is going on, Mr. Speaker. So, you see, the question is the President reading his own addresses? Is he apprised of what he tells this House?
Na sanko motwetwe ekoso nyina ewo mrahye bedwam so na omampani na adankwa kufuado edebetu dwa na ho abubo ene ho atepoi na mrahye bedwafo no wo mu edie enam so ema Deputy Minister for Finance ono aso na MP ema Ejuso Dr. John Apontia kuma wono so de nano atomu bi se nipa dodo no eka se aban akobo besia ampa aban akobo besia na wakwa akobo no so ode ba be yempuntuduma ahodo ya akwan ni akwantempo nyina eka ho nneɛma bebre ka ho na aban akwakwaje besia no a wode eye enti saa nneɛma we nyina so yenya ne dakrope je se mre kakra eba mu ne yatimi anya ho resource ahodo no a nti wo mo kasa bebre no wo mo enya nanka oman nanka bibie ekoyi o nti ono so de api so sa covid-19 ene Russian tokwa no ene nam so ama oman ye ho ahye nti yenya mre kakra ma aban na sika okwaje ye de beye mpuntudwuma ni nyina no eson ebeso aba ama ye nyina.
I want to recount a very short story that took place on 6th March in Ejuso during the celebration. Mr. Speaker, 4 students received the Municipal Best Students Award on the 6th March in Ejuso. 2 of them at the WASI level, 2 of them at the BEC level. Mr. Speaker, the WASI students who received Best Award in Ejuso, 2 of them, 1 male, 1 female, unfortunately are still at home because they could not even afford university or tertiary admission forms to pursue further studies. Mr. Speaker, like several other colleagues, I had to intervene to grant them full scholarship so they will continue next year to pursue further education. Mr. Speaker, the good news is that the 2 other students who were also awarded from the BEC level to WASI level, one of them came in his Prempeh College uniform. The lady also came in her St. Louis Senior High School uniform because their parents didn't have to pay school fees, both tuition and boarding fees. A benevolent president, President Nana Addo Dankwa, has paid fully for them. Mr. Speaker, the president has paid not only for the 2 of them, but for 1.3 million other children in our country. And Mr. Speaker, in this State of the Nation address, we were told that already 2 million Ghanaian children have benefited from the free SHS student. We can only be grateful to His Excellency the President and to assure Ghanaians that indeed the borrowings to expand infrastructure in our country is worthwhile. Mr. Speaker, I wish to refute some of the propaganda that have been put out by our friends on the other side. One friend said that we have cooked data to the IMF and different data to Parliament. Mr. Speaker, let me put on record that the only time in the history of our country that Ghana has been sanctioned by the World Bank was in 2001 when the NDC, the previous NDC government, lied by data to the World Bank and was fined $40 million in 2001 by the NDC government, Mr. Speaker. So when they tell us we have cooked data to the World Bank, they should show us the sanctions that came along with it. And they hold that record. They cannot compare their incompetent handling of Dumso to what is currently happening in our country. Mr. Speaker, what is globally accepted is the fact that the difficulty that our economy is going through today is as a result of exogenous factors, COVID-19, Russia-Ukraine war. But Mr. Speaker, our government, led by His Excellency President Kufuor, have not folded our arms. We have risen to the occasion. And so far, all the steps that are being taken are pointing to a good recovery of the economy in the nearest future.
Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman, a vice presidential candidate, Emma NDC Amayuko no say, a yena yam shishia pa, kwanya omai kwa na yeko from ye economy, niema enkuyi kra, ewo a NPP Amanyukui appens, or musha nimu said 2024 no NDC Amanyuku, babaji Ghana for every sa amuchre emu.
Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman the Sansemana to Ja ewo Tema Central wa bra NDC won office for kra wasi awie no na wo pa hontoma ne ka semro na wo chiri ma state of the nation address na na do dankwa Akufo-Addo Ghana man pinye kenkan ye na bibia di adanse pa se na do ne na ba o madi Ghana hwamo wo chiri ma fa Ghana fo nkwa achi kura COVID-19 foto ampin fo boto honom no na che sika no man tutu ni o man ne basa wodi eno so eto nchen a endro ede wo mofra bo ho ba di free ya ro eye mofra na ekubi nso so wonkra abirem no endro na yesi a short wo ma Ghana mu ne no an sen e na mben wo nyina di adanse se MPP aban na nado dankwa Akufo-Addo da wona no o mpe Ghana yie
of the nation. We all know it. Don't we all live it? We are all experiencing it. So I don't have anything to say about the state. What I want to hear is the strategies to take us out. And unfortunately, I didn't hear that. So, colleagues, it's in our hands. It's in our hands to rescue this country, or for all of us to continue to jump into the gutter. This is the first time in the history of our country where every generation has been shortchanged. The baby that was born today cannot have the vaccine. The one who is 9 months cannot have a vaccine. And the other vaccines. And after all the hard work that has been done to convince mothers and so on, fathers to take their children for vaccination and so on, now what are we telling them? That it's okay not to have vaccination? How low do we want to sink? And as if that is not enough, this baby must have maybe older brothers and sisters, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds. They are also in school, no books. So they are also getting their bit of it. And their older sibling, firstborn who is in secondary school, well, look at the mess that now we call a secondary school. Again, how did we sink so low? And that part bothers me very much because you are raising the future human resource. And if you start them this way, no vaccination. And you know, one of them, polio, you cannot reverse it. It's so serious, I don't even want to get emotional about it.
Na nkwakura mu no, chocho for penini de ma NDC amoniko no. Urumanya for fifi avikote, wono so kasaye, e de afutu ne kokobo ma MPP fo nyina. So wonboaboa won ho na afimpini ne dunu nan se ne titie bia no obetu won ade so.
United to continue to work hard and to look at the big picture, which is 2024, which is about Ghana. And if we can focus on Ghana and to work hard for the sake of that country, we will be in a good position to take out the elephants and make sure we rescue this country again. It's back to a place where children, babies no more have to battle to have vaccines. Bring us to a point where we no more have a president who is going to be a clearing agent, clearing every corruption. To have a vice president who is a serial liar, who cannot tell the truth. We need to have this country back to a place where leadership can be trusted again.
Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajimanya wono na ankane no ye running mate Emma Omampani Dada John Dramani Mahama wono na mote ne kane no na yenko ensem fufuro emu Ghana School Feeding Program for womuni womo ka bi ye partners ahodo no womuni womo aka bom aye training ya womode ama caterers womo mu anuane ema ye nuanom nkuma womo schools no emu no womuni womo akakwasa akokyekere womo kwan ahodo a womo ebetimi edi enuane ahodo a wo Ghana ha ya ene ne eduaduan wo Ghana ha ebi etese emo abroni ne mahodo etete sa ne nyina no wo mo ebehwe na nuane a eno ama enkwada no wo mo de dodo no ano ebehye mu aye ne sa
ne ye eda idea si wa ma emma awo wiase nyina aye International Women's Day enti yeso I was school feeding no ye ne ye ho ye ne emma na kabo say ye celebrate on day aye International Women's Day. You don't development partner, African Union Development Agency on the NAPAD. Eba say ombegwa ni training mano. Say the beya juma mu yenu. Ebe tumi akoso. Enu tine na anope ewie ye be shemu efo Settlement Children's Park. The beya na ye be training mano empower. Say the beya omeduma mu yenu. Ebe koso. The marketers 150. If you greet Accra, need more buy. No training now buy. Nkolana umumma mwebiani dim. Ye buta to throw ni say. Yanka say ye duane a ye duane no a ye dua okrom ha no. Ye be ma nkolano esuedi. Dan say na Ghana for nkola. Omumpa Ghana aduane. But ye pese nkolano ye mamu caterers no training. Say the be ye local food no. Ebe ye so nice amamu de mankwala na umatumi adi nti na wo hwe a ye di soya bean ye di bi ye kenki ye di soya bean ye cake ni asefo. It's all about say ye betumi ama omu tumi adi ye local food ye be agricultural production and I say basic objective school feeding. Yes, nkwala no kwa na feeding. Another objective is say they be agricultural production nti anunti na ye sa training. Say the beya in yes a debut and be feeding on but said the only to me feeding on our local food. I yan one of a fair
ye ma baby I go na fi ma ba wa sem and then first time I hear training package and then second time I hear training normally the training a boy because if you name a baby say preservative said I be a preserve ye near man and it said I able to me a handle near man training we and that training not particularly it's about your local food and duane Ghana and no said I able to me a sankrem de aye duane ama embolani nti ene wo hwa na che say ene no e kasafa yen Ghana aduane so the nutritional value is very high na che say ye ma no Ghana aduane a enuane nuro bia e wo say embolani nya ombinyanti ene trainer e be boa yen caterers no na yetimi ehu said I able to me a handle Ghana aduane ene said I able to me a preserve no na ache ye nuane no nuane nuro ewo mu no e boa ye enti at least ye aduane a ye make sure say be use Ghana enuane no na ye nyanwani nuro papa e wo say ye nya ena de edi ho nso ye fie mu ye try say be di ye nuane no e be boa ye ye won kan ha de to be na ye say ya ka chika crabet eye ukọ market a obenya niema kakra wo pa obeto se kwa nsusu akontomre fresh tomatoes any garden eggs a friend say ntorwa obenya sa niema na to ye didi sa niema na ebeboa ye nkyere ye manso wo fie se ye Ghana enuane ndro wo na think say ye ne sa ebeboa ye
Yenkopie mu ewo Asante Mantamu Her Royal Highness Lady Julia Osei Tutu ene emma animpon bi a wo mu ewo my Ghana mu akofo anase wo mu ene eye mayo ahodo bi so a wo mu ewo senior high schools ahodo bi ewo Asante Mantamu no wo mu akwakohia wo mu akwakodi International Women's Day nanu wuku da etwa mu
Royal Highness Lady Julia Osei Tutu Krobia Asante Kotoko hine otumfo se tu eyire ene emam penimfo bi a woye titiri aka bom atete emayo a ewo senior high school aye nkyerɛkyerɛ sonko de ama won ebra wiase afa na nyina ebo ema abaso na afi bia yade a wo mayo a wotete won afi de asempo a wogina so ede etu anamon ene kwan a ema ene emayo a ebetumi enya mfaso ede afiri abefo kwantimpon technology no eso na ne nkasa ye mu no kire hia se nei oba bia timi bone ho so ewo technology emu titru sabre ya mobile phone de obia ekura bi ene ehwehwemu a akane na emma na mobile phone ni ho no okosuku a woye bra wo bre ene enei sene ankwada enya bibia internet so ene ni enti esese obo wo homodin ye ntie ne nsem a okaye no.
Technology is important. We need to educate ourselves and educate ourselves and educate ourselves some more. And these days it's very simple, as we've heard, because it's all in our palm. There's nothing that we cannot research and learn about on these little devices that we hold. So please continue to follow this technology and educate yourselves. You are so fortunate today. There's no reason why you should not excel, why you should not do well. It's all in your palm. But in our days, you'd go to the library and pages would have been torn out of your book. So please, do not shy away from improving yourselves. The tools are all there, so please, do not hesitate to improve yourselves. As we've also learned, there are negatives to technology. So please, it is a good thing. You can be led astray. Use it to benefit yourselves. As a charity foundation, we will take up the challenge that was thrown to us to try and organize some competitions to improve the study of STEM and ICT in our parts. Unfortunately, a lot of the labs in our schools are not up to the standard that we would like them to be. So we will continue to work with the Ministry of Education to see what can be done. We might not be able to tool all our schools to the levels that we want, but we may be able to establish some sort of well-equipped labs centrally that we can pool students to go and study. because STEM is the way forward now for any country to develop properly. And so we really need to take the STEM very seriously.
Na Mame Abibata Shannon Zakaria Mahama eye opani kwankyerefo a oda Maslok ano odi afutuo ama ma pa se ye nyini ya yebefe life partners anase ye kununum yebepe kununum ne ade se utusu kunu empena anase ne ma hodo etete saa no a hwe ni ye pa fi se okunu ya obetusu no no ebetimi ama wa ye anase ebetimi abre wase daachi
ase ene International Women's Day na me share me ma omo Maslok aye monko kakra enti relationship asem no me say obia se wo pese ye bibia eye kama se na wo choose partner ene so ka ho enti se obi pese uni ne go out ana data ese unsua ne suban na nipa no oyo bia obe have a positive impact e wo me hu ana say negative ene na ebe kire se woni ne mu tuaso ana say munjai ene na me pa kire no me de me ka say enye uyo ba enye disadvantage de obe ma timaye man so betimaye enti eyewa na ese umbomode na ma obia ti asese me yomba so metimaye na yenso ene ese yen move away from we oba and I say we mema yenka de oba betimaye to say the capabilities the competencies na obi a oye bema and I obi so oye ba ma bebre omo ye competent omo ye capable and so just because we oba or say omo say wontimi nyejuma it's not fair and we should rather focus on what women or what people can do other than what they are as a gender.
Yenko eye womu eyi ngo esan eyi adwongo ya womu ewo asen edubiase ewo asen south mansini emu na womu wo fifiri mantam wo masem wo muka nyina ne se womu esre aban nyumaku ahodo ehya aban ase eye NGOs na afi corporate institutions ahodo asika wo womu nsem se womu emeboa womu pa na enema ahodo wo muhia akande ahodo wo muhia ebetimi aboa ama womu aye adwuma no yi aban mehwe na wonye bi ema wo
Israel adwuma no ba ha che be nti be ye diunu ekwadunu na ade a ye hia no kase yemfiri no aye dadaw nti ebese ka aban botu meso ya asen ne wa ye vidie ni yi na ma no so bosie bi no wode ba mo so wode bokọ ekwan so akototo aban bi na wode abaye na adwuma no tuma akoso a ade am pede mekan na ye ya aban na no yemfa hwimfrem ye normal one papa na ye de ba yemfa sudi mponye han mo bia ni ha onim ade a wo friend sudi me kwa me hu bi da but my dey ni dey mate nti se ebi kwa na ye dey sisi kwan ho a ye ton no nti se wa utobi na kona ukodi a behu difference wo pure red oil
ye dwuma dia ye di ni se ye ngo ye adwongo ye konkwa se kototo adwi na mpo bebi a ye bekwa wura no ansa na abobo ya mfa modulu ha na ya bire mu yiye ye sika nyina asa wo ye adwuma no po awnya ho hwe ye sika sua ndi ama ye ntumi nye adwuma na kase enwe se nke pese ye ntumi nye be drums be 20 ni ade nso ye sika sua nti ye ntumi nye ya 4 ya 3 nti ye bla ye bepi ha mo ne ye kasa nti ye bompa sanka nya oni ye ebetumi adi mu ama ye na nka ye so ye bila akofom kakra nuhu ni ade ni ye bila nti nka ye benya machine no so esiwa etumi bo anu ahuso a eno so nka ye pe na nka ye bila so atwa nti ye bo na ehu na eyi adwene ma ye anu ane se ye sesa ya na de egu dansem na ye echi eno so se nya machine so eno so betumi eti anwa na ama ye eno so nka ye pe
se ye pana to adwuma na ye ni ye bre nti ombo ye tumi kwakwan se ko adwe a ye nyaka ye bebre sa lisana ye dia ba nti ya pana kese omboy obetumi aboy bobo ya bia na kese otumi pa adwuna ble ye
ngwa ye no hana ye ngupa Iti obi enye bi omla asin adubiase mla mehwehwe bi. Nti wo ba so a wo sa wo ton wo so a wo sa yen papa. Yen sa bibia amflim. Eni ska ekoto bibi nti etutu nu yakofa na fuom bai na ye wo. Nti yesra ban sa o ma ye fidie. Bechichi amayen. Ye wi a yeso ye den ye bre. Nti oba ma ye fidie ye de be ye bibia ye kofa aben ba na ye de abesim ni yawo.
Nti pa cho ban sa won so emu na won moa ye na yen fanye gina. MP na this year na extra no won fa ban ho na won mboa e wo sika sam na yenya hode no so nye adwuma.
Na adeshi a wo ewo dia so ya ewo apa dentra west mansini mu wo mfimfiri mantam so esu wo masem wo muka nyina so muti wo ba bio na aban ekutwa homam so de agenda 111 eba ya eno ne betimi aboa mapomudin ebia hodo ewo ho no wo mu atimi apagima sansisi bia ka ho besi sabrei aban ehun popo ye kora no wo mu ente wo ho nti aban mehwe no si ba ko bi wo ho mo na emwa wo mu apomudin
ye o problems bi bro okrum ha Edi kan ye KG block, abandoned KG block, be 6 years almost started based in the Omunwe, MP, Honorable Cynthia Morrison, and be started before election. Then I joined so be election also. But what boss no we jai was election ye be 3 years or 4 years. Omun kasa contract if site be 3-4 years on ba ho bio. On ba be hwe chi okabo nsa na man bi crisis yo on ba ho bio. KG chief compounder on more than, let me say, 10 years, more than 10 years, because at the most time I want to start to chief compounder. Up till now, Obian Kasa Hundio, Yakwa, roofing, ceiling, and we in to and see your problem, partner, share, if you should do the Baha and what. And so, why not send the driver phone charge on pen or charge? So, be Yalo has to see because they're planning unity. Driver, Uber for driver, if you should do Babano in Pandua, Yemfa apen fun yemfa ntun obnansen ya obi awokan efa ka fidu asedu obedu ha na nipan afa ma hwene nkwa nti problem dey will be pa the district assembly on be hwe na mo nje yen kejin se e district assembly project a on ma yehu se MP common funds no dey yen so on ma yehu na mo wie man mo fan e hwa imponche gate nda no that board come use to pride would be na dey ha mo church esa e ha mo fan the 21st century nkwan se mo first hand wo edan ya ti sei mo na ye kwan no so assembly nhwe na ombe grade so ma he na yentum anya mo trouble cars betum aba
Eti so kwan ase kwa se obilba ore bo fi nka fa kwa fa yanko te nanto anka school for sabi obi mo kwa school wo krom oba nanto yasra omo hwaman won che wenyi omo hwaman yen ya pa wacha ya shabu ba nche ya shabu ade ye makaka nka wa ha kokko na de wa ha sempe ya ka first atofo wa ba no kwa ye me anyim ni brother wo ma 10 citizens no ma 5 citizens enja obogwa wa sai ntum nyi ma munzi na weje na mala to jana mala so no so ka faka na ba o de ka se ababra be na se nyamanu guo na edwe na nyamanu guo na mpanchi warewe ti yasra ban na mpeinofon yasra MP yasra
ye kwan ye clinic sha was starting no so wan ya amaye so how the efe bebrem sample abofa bi mpola no ho bodo a ni nyina ati se e de faka ko shedu anase duakwa wa bra se clinic no ha ka oba man first aid wa ma onipa no wenya homen ni nyina ati se wo frɛ ka anam da kwan so nyenti ka no mpo frɛ na bra baba no po no onipa no se obewu a wa ye de wewu nti yesra ban ye promotion bebre de clinic ne de ye hia wonye man ankasa wo yara mpanyifo ye ban bom na mo frɛ nyinara wo ban bom Lisa abofra bu ya yeden baba opinfo ko ha nti yesra bebre de won be ye clinic na ye kwan no fa man
mene Ibrahim ofe ma bi kwa mo agra nkanfo aye nana otukro ni amu an Ibrahim za o ha kaso wa pan ye clinic wo ba si clinic no ana che compound wo be si no ache chede wo be ozi dan be so no ye nya bibiara mfim dan ni nyara ateso apansam nche do wo nyina asai tese ayeko ho adan wo na nkanse ko se na ehu wo enti ye totosere aban se omomoden na nakufa do se esra ne da omomoden ontwe mo hwe sa na yeso yeto aba oye ye MP honorable Cynthia Morrison mereka se nara onyim ye na akasa wo ye hospital ho bebe yeso ye mbu apepe biara mfim te da memre ye ya kwanje wo YouTube fo ho yi What I said, one more than 1 2 emotion, no more by hand.
Mijina we so na mede eye session we akona wie ye na me kom hu twa me ho ba bongo di fara e de eye agudie mu semba be som eye bongo di fara se dia de friend nei eye no mo blafo enti me twa me ho abasesi a na ye de agudie mu sem abro